Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Today we are on with Lake Sumter State College's head softball coach, Jay Miller. We also got Jordyn Anderson with us as well. She's an assistant coach with the team, and then we'll be talking with Sarah White as well later on in the program. But I want to welcome you to the Sports Hub. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, second time. Happy to be here.
Yeah, you guys are off to a blazing start to your season. 9-11 to start the season, but you guys got a lot to build on this year. Let's talk a little bit about the early season and how things have been going for you guys.
So one of the big things we try to push for is our outside conference schedule needs to be difficult. So at this point in time, we are 9-11, but only 3 of those 11 losses have come from a non-nationally ranked opponent. So yeah, the schedule is a little off right now as far as our record goes, but it's because we play top tier competition that sets us up to being currently I think we're 4-2 in conference with a sweep of FSCJ. So we're right, in my mind, right where we need to be going into the really meat and potatoes of the schedule.
Yeah, you mentioned the harder schedule and getting teams on the schedule. It reminds me a lot of Eustis High School, actually, who's in our area. They schedule a lot of hard teams during the season, and then that prepares them for the postseason. So things are going really well for you guys early on this year. You're now in your 10th year as head coach of the softball program, but you've also taken on the interim athletic director spot as well. Let's talk a little bit about that.
And a short answer, it's a lot. But the best part is when they approach me about doing the interim athletic director is the people at Lake Sumter State College and the athletics department are fantastic. First thing I did was I walked in our baseball coach, Rich Billings' office, and I said, I can't screw this up. And he looked dead in my eye and goes, you won't, and we won't let you. So having that kind of backing from him, Miss Tammy, everybody involved, we've hired new employees. They're all on board with what we're doing. That was a huge contributing factor in me going, okay, I think I can do this. And, kind of a fake it till you make it mentality that I'm going to go to work. I'm going to learn today. If I screw something up, I will learn from that. I will do better. And then definitely have a lot more confidence going into the second half. But again, it's unprecedented territory, but people like Jordyn being around me, her and JJ being able to take care of practice if I'm going to be running late. I mean, there's how many times am I just sprinting out the practice from the office? Like today, I forgot to change of clothes, so I'm going to be wearing business like attire to practice today. So, it's all about the people you surround yourself with that makes things like this possible. And I also have to give a big shout out to my wife, because without her, nothing I do can even be achieved. But with 2 boys, we get into a season like this, and it's coming and going. And I give her a ton of credit for not only being a coach's wife, but being the backbone of our family, when I'm doing 2 full-time jobs.
As a sports reporter, I completely understand where you're coming from 100%. So that's beautiful. And wives are a huge part of that, and that's absolutely fantastic. You also mentioned Jordyn Anderson. Jordyn Anderson coming onto the staff this season, a former player, but she's here as an assistant coach this year. A little bit different of a role for you. Describe a little bit about how the transition has been to coaching for you.
I would say at the beginning of the year, I thought it would be a little challenging because I had a close relationship with those girls that I played with last year, but they have understood that it's different now. Like they can't act the same towards me, and like they have to respect me a little bit. So it's been a nice transition, and it's really helpful that I do have that connection with them. So I know how to talk to them when they're struggling or anything like that.
And you're a young coach too. We've also had Damani Nettles on with us. He's a assistant coach with Leesburg basketball. He's 22 years old. But sometimes when you have young coaches like that, that really speaks to the players. Are you having that kind of impact with your players, being that you're a younger coach?
I would say so. Yeah, me and JJ are the same age, and JJ also played with us last year. So the players are able to come to us with things that they wouldn't be able to go to Coach Miller with, which is extremely helpful because we can deal with that stuff and get it figured out.
You have an amazing story too. You went through Tommy John surgery and made it back to the softball field as well. Let's talk a little bit about your journey.
You want to start with your fun fact about Tommy John?
Oh my gosh. Okay, he had Tommy John surgery too, and we had the same surgeon. So
both being from Ohio.
Wow.
We're Tommy John buddies for life.
Yeah, he thinks that's a big flex. But My journey was challenging, I would say. I struggled a lot in the fall right after surgery. I couldn't do anything. And it was hard not being able to play with the girls that I came in with. But I did have Kaylee Thomas with me. She tore her ACL around the same time that I did. So we were able to come back together and go through rehab and everything. So that helped a lot. I did continue to have problems during season, so I never really came back 100%, but having the girls support me through it all helped a lot. But yeah.
She's not giving herself enough credit. This is and I'm going to call her a kid because that's what I will refer to all of my players as for forever. She came back from, I can't pitch, I'm a red shirt, can I grab a bat? And I said, let's grab a bat. Let's see what you can do. She then turned that into becoming an all-conference DP, where she hit multiple home runs, drove in 36 RBIs while going 4-0 in the circle. And she's not giving herself enough credit because last year we were in a huge game where we went into extra innings. She went 4 innings. And the only reason I had to pull her out is because she couldn't feel her hand. Wow. And that's the kind of kid you want. That's the kind of competitor you want. And I always tell people this. My assistants will pretty much usually be my former players because I can teach you how to be a coach, but I cannot teach trust. And I trust her and I trust JJ that they both have our players' best interests in mind. And so she's selling herself a little bit short because it wasn't as easy as she's making it out to be, and she worked her butt off to accomplish what she did.
Well, she's having a great impact on the season already. You want to talk about what's going on. The pitcher of the week, Savannah Ellis, was recently the pitcher of the week. Let's talk a little bit about that. That was a big honor for her.
So Savannah is a two-way player and one of the best I've ever seen as far as she made 2 errors at first base and 285 chances last year. Not only that, she had 77 hits last year, and then she was 11-4 in the circle, and that's a ton of dedication and work that she put in. So her coming in, working with Jordyn, she got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but then threw 14 consecutive innings scoreless. I mean, she threw a complete game shutout against FSCJ and then comes back to take down the number 3 team in the country in St. John's River with a complete game shutout again. Absolutely impressive, and it goes back to the work that she put in with Jordyn.
Jordyn, what's been the best part about being a coach so far for you? You played the game for many years, and now transitioning to the coaching. What's your favorite part about coaching?
Having that close connection with the girls, I would say. I learned a lot about pitching when I had my Tommy John surgery. So I think using that knowledge and information to help the pitchers get better has really helped me, makes me feel a little bit accomplished as a coach. So, yeah.
And you're staying in the Lake County area as well. What brought you down here? What was so attractive to Lake Sumter State College?
So in high school, I played one of my friends. She ended up going to College of Central Florida to play softball, and I was not interested in any school in Ohio. I wanted to leave, so I was like, I'm just going to go to a camp, and I went to the camp at College of Central Florida, and Coach Miller was there, and then he asked me where I was from. I'm from Ohio, and then he was like, oh, I coach at Lake Sumter, and I was like, Lake Sumter? Like, I'm not going to that school, and for some reason, I found this culture of the team very appealing to me, and it sounded like something I wanted to be a part of, and Leesburg comes with it. Yeah, I never left.
That's what I hear a lot of. The culture at Lake Sumter State College is like a family in a lot of ways. It's a smaller school, 2-year school for the most part, but you're able to develop relationships that way as well, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Abby Primavera, who was here before, is now a graduate assistant at West Georgia. She said it best. She goes, you spend 2 years at Lake Sumter trying to get out of here, and then you'll spend the rest of your life trying to figure out how to get back. And that's really what we try to build and strive for, is that just camaraderie, that culture where it's not about me, it's about what can I do for you.
You've been in the program for 10 years. What does that mean to you to hear players that want to do that?
Having players want to go into your profession is, I think, the ultimate compliment. To say, like, I saw what you did for me, I see what you did for my friends, I want that. And that's about waking up every day trying to make an impact for somebody else. So it's the ultimate compliment from a player.
What's the best compliment you've ever received yourself,
boy.
Jordyn? I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of compliments you've received over the years, but what's a compliment that you've received that has really impacted you and helped you with your career?
Let me think. As a player or a coach?
Just in general, I would say. Is there anything that you've ever received, Coach, that has helped you in your career?
As far as in my career, I would say something along the lines of, it's a game, trust yourself, try crazy things, and just don't stick to what everybody thinks you should be doing. Sometimes you got to do things different.
Well, have you ever been involved in a game that you were like, that you remember for the rest of your life? Was there ever a really fun game that you were a part of?
The one that I'll always remember was actually in high school. Sorry, but it was our district semis, and my high school hadn't made it to district semis since like 2008, and we were playing a really good team, and there was 2 outs, and it was the top of the 7th, and there was a runner in scoring position, and I threw my rise ball for a strike, and the girl swung and missed, and just like everybody erupted, and it was like the first time I probably ever showed emotion pitching, because I like ripped my face mask off and like screamed, and I don't show any emotion when I pitch, and I'll just remember that forever.
Just great memories to bring into the program. And we talk about the program too, because a lot of girls come from all over the country to the program and want to play for you, but you also have some local talent on the team as well. And I absolutely love that, Coach. Talk a little bit about the recruiting process.
So I will say, we always look local first, start and work our way out. What we have found is there's been a shift basically post-COVID of the best players in the county always wanted to leave. And I always understood. It was really Megan Wright, who was here last year, that went to the big school, went to the UCF, went to St. Pete, and then comes back here after COVID, everything like that. And she went from hitting 123 at St. Pete to 412 in the season for us. And I literally got texts, "What did you do?" And I said, "I got out of her way." Like, she's that good. All we talked about was your approach to hitting, what pitches to swing at, and she took it from there. So it's really, there's kind of been that door opens a little bit more. We got Emmy Lee coming in, who fell through the cracks, and when Sarah gets up here, she'll talk about that. She was a huge cog. Our kids recruit our program, and they know who to bring in, and I will get phone calls on who not to bring in. They police it extremely well.
Yeah, you got some really good talent coming in the next couple of years. I mean, Lee, of course, one of them, the girl from Umatilla coming in as well. She's having a big year. We'll talk about that a little bit more on the program. But as far as the goals go, the coach this season, this is Jordyn's first year coaching on the staff. What are the goals this year for you guys?
So it's funny because in 2023, we kind of stopped setting goals on paper. There's a lot of research in mental performance, mental health for student athletes, that goals, if you do not reach them, you feel less than, and that affects kind of what we talk about as the mental epidemic in college athletics right now. And so our goals are extremely simple. Get better every day. Come with a plan to get better. I talked to Jordyn about, are you familiar with Rapsodo? It's a $5,000 piece of equipment. And she goes, yeah, absolutely. So I said, can you handle it? Do you want to bring this in? She goes, yeah, absolutely. So that is literally her job description. It's a giant chunk of metal that she carries around with a tablet, and we track pitches and do all kinds of stuff. And so the goals are really not written down. It's, are you getting better today, or are you taking a step backwards?
He mentions the technology that you carry around too. How has technology impacted the game?
Well, I will say that we haven't had a giant chance to use it because I did set it up incorrectly, and it took me like 3 weeks to figure out how to fix that. But it has helped. The one time that I've gotten to use it recently has helped a lot. It shows pitch, like the spin rate of the ball, so how many times the ball spins per minute. And normally you want your pitch to sit at like 1,200 RPMs, and I have been able to come up with drills to help improve that. So it has helped with our pitcher's spin. a lot. So
Well, he mentions practice makes perfect, so the more the merrier, right? Jordyn, I want to thank you for coming on to our program today and learning a little bit more about yourself, and best of luck with the rest of your season.
thank you.
All right, we're going to take a short break here on the Sports Hub. We'll come back with more next.
Is pain or restricted range of motion keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game with expert orthopedic care from UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics. UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics provides robotic-assisted surgical joint repairs and replacements, post-operative care, and inpatient rehabilitation services, all close to home, right here in Lake and Sumter counties. And for those unexpected injuries, UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics offers convenient walk-in and same-day appointments. To learn more or to schedule an appointment with one of their specialists, call 352-323-5665.
Hey, everybody. We are back here on the Sports Hub podcast talking with Lake Sumter State College Jay Miller, and we also have Sarah White on with us. Sarah's the catcher here this season. Very exciting player that we have with us. Coach, talk a little bit about Sarah White.
So Sarah's awesome, as in, like, her leadership skills, second to none. And I even had a conversation with her about a month ago. I was like, please understand, I know you don't start in a lot of games, but when you speak, people listen. And that's really, really important. And unheralded, she is our number one kid to take pitchers down into the bullpen. And I ask her the tough questions. Can they handle it? Are they ready to go? Where are they at? Is the ball moving? Is the ball not moving? Sarah is just that person that every team needs, that leader in the locker room. Maybe she doesn't play in as many games as I'm sure she wants to, but she has everybody's full attention when she speaks.
There's a position for everybody on the team, whether it's not only on the field but motivational as well. What makes you such a motivational person to on the Lake Sumter State College team?
I don't really see myself as that motivational, I guess, but I'm just really close with everybody. I think everyone expects me to give them the truth, which I always like to do. I'll give everybody the truth, even if it hurts, but I don't know, that's just what I like to do, just make sure everyone knows where they are and make sure they know where they stand.
How'd you end up coming to Lake Sumter State College?
I'm actually from Tavares High School, so lived around here all my life, wanted to stay close to home. My teammate from the past, she played at Lake Sumter at the time, so I was like, she had nothing but good things to say. She definitely advocated for me well to Coach Miller. Yeah,
you were a really good player over at Tavares High School, but Jay Miller, you end up recruiting her, comes basically across the street over to Lake Sumter State College and playing with a bunch of local kids as well. That's exciting as well. How is it playing locally with a bunch of kids that you grew up playing with?
I love it, especially like Sammy Thomas. We were rivals like all of our life. Now coming, like, she's probably one of my best teammates I have. I was like, who knew across the street I was playing you all my life, and here we are.
What made the catcher position so attractive to you? Like when did you start playing catcher?
That's just what I've always done. My dad was my coach, so the kid he could beat up on the most. So stuck with it.
Yeah, so she comes over and she's making an impact with the team, and really exciting what you got going on as well, starting the season 9-11. If you weren't with us when we first started our podcast, I want to talk about Emma Chisholm as well, 23 RBIs. What a player she's been for the team as well. Peyton Parks, 17 hits, 11 RBIs. So you got a great team of girls that you've put together this season, and that includes Sarah White this season. Talk a little bit about Chisholm and what she's meant to the team.
I mean, if you would ever come out to practice and see some of the balls that she hits and where they land, like, I'm going to send her a bill because we got to get more practice balls because they land where no one can go get them. It's amazing. You know, like in 2023, I slept pretty good because our pitching staff was just that good. I sleep pretty good knowing our hitters can just put the ball wherever they want. We had 2 home runs the other night. Peyton, got off to a slow start, and then it's like, boom, she is back at it. Emma is just, her bat speed is incredible. Sometimes it gets her in trouble. But when she waits back, oh my gosh, it is fun to watch. I mean, that's really batting practice. People come and watch us take batting practice. It's incredible.
What's it like catching behind a player like that? Because Emmett Chisholm is probably one of the best players hitters, pure hitters to come through Lake Sumter State College in a long time.
It's definitely fun, like, trying to call, because I'm like, this is honestly a game, like, inter-squatting especially. Like, how can I make her not hit it out? That's my goal, is, like, a single will be good for me. But, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having our catchers take on that role of calling pitches in practice, it makes them better. But like she said, it's a game within the game. We've got to beat Emma, and Emma's going to get better if she calls tougher pitches. Emma, might see an inside pitch that she doesn't like, but if it's a good pitch, she's got to learn to hit that, because we can't stay in there and watch strike three. So, yeah, exactly what she said. Building off of that, iron sharpens iron.
I don't know if you're keeping up with Taveri's high school softball right now, but Jasmine Lawrence, what a player that she's become as well. She's going to Troy University, which is really exciting for her as well. And just a lot of excitement in the area. Eustis High School is having another great year. Of course, they're doing really good things there. Just there's so much talent in the area that comes through, and it's really exciting to see you bringing some of that talent to Lake Sumter State College and having them to sell, because it's not just in Lake County, but it's really around Central Florida. And these girls that might not have an opportunity at these other schools, they're going to have an opportunity here with the Lakehawks.
And I think that's a very important part of it is finding kids that are undervalued, overlooked for whatever reason. I live in Citrus County, so that's a big place that we pull from. We've got 2 kids coming from Citrus County, but like I said, these girls police the program themselves. She was the first one to call me about Emmy Lee, and she was like, "Hey, this fell through at this other school. She's available," and within 48 hours, she was on campus and committed that day, and so it was a done deal. But like I said, on the other hand, they also tell me who to avoid. Hey, what about this kid? These numbers are incredible, and they're like, not going to work well in our locker room, not going to fall in line. They are the best. That's when the culture, the environment is taking care of itself, because they're the ones protecting it, even though she's going to be gone next year.
And Lake Sumter State College is a 2-year program. So describe what that's like, building camaraderie with a team, but you're only there for 2 years instead of a 4-year program. Is it different?
It is, but it's not. Like, I don't question that I won't see all the people just as much. Like, we're going to keep in contact. Like, we're family now. I'm never going to stop talking to them.
What are you majoring in at Lake Sumter State College?
Business management. I dual enrolled through high school, so now I'm just working on some certificates.
Oh, it's really exciting. It's exciting. You got so many girls working on various things, and wherever they go after, it's exciting to watch them continue their careers no matter where they go. Do you have a really good story about like a player that came through your program and has really excelled at the next level?
Softball wise?
Yeah, softball wise.
Let's see.
Or maybe just at the school.
Well, we had Abby came through. She went to Franklin Pierce, won their first ever regional playoff game for NCAA Division II. We've had girls go D1. I'll tell you the funniest story is, and Jordyn, who was on earlier, she can attest to this. I always tell people 50% of our kids quit after their first year at another school. And it bothered me for the longest time. And actually, Jordyn says it's more like 80%. Huh. And it bothered me until I had a player contact me, and I'm not playing this year, after this year, coach, at her new school. And I said, well, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? She goes, no, that's not it. She goes, what you do is, we've done it so wrong for so long that when we were shown how it's supposed to be done, with the player's best interest in mind, not about winning, it's about other stuff, we're not going backwards. And when that happens, we're not going to put up with it. So we quit. And I thought, that is the most backhanded compliment I think I've ever gotten, that, hey, we're doing it right. And because they do. They go other places and they're like, it's not the same. And so they stop playing. And
is that what makes it attractive for you to play for a coach like Jay Miller?
Oh, yeah. And I've heard like a bunch of times, like, this is where you want your career to end. Like, on such a good note, like, you had nothing but fun your entire experience. Like, that's what other better way to end it. What
does that mean to hear?
Well, I get that a lot, because my job is to give everybody every opportunity. So for instance, we have 2 pitchers on our team that coaches are still calling me, and one of them's going to med school. Wants nothing to do with continuing to play softball. She's like, I'm going to be a PA. And I'm like, you're going to do bigger things than softball, and she wants to get started on it right now. But to here, like, I love it here, and I don't want to ruin my softball career by going someplace else and it's not the same. It's just a compliment, and I think it's a testament to the program itself, not necessarily to me, but to the program, what the program means, because the program is bigger than me.
And the program continues to grow each and every year. I mean, they added the golf program this year, which is really exciting. You being the athletic director now, at least an interim, we'll see if that's permanent, but you've seen the program grow the last 10 years, and this program's taken off, continues to do so. What has that been like to see the rise of Lake Sumter State College?
It's been a lot. In 2015, when I got here, we had 3 sports. Now they just finished a 6-court beach complex that hopefully in the next 2 years is going to be hosting national events.
Wow.
It's huge. We got cross country, indoor track is right now at nationals in Texas. It's a huge thing. They flew there, all this stuff. We're nationally ranked. Our volleyball team's been nationally ranked. Baseball was nationally ranked. You know, it's a huge deal to see that. But in the midst of all the success and all the growth, it's still the same fundamental thing that Mike Matulia set out to do in 1998. It's about impacting student athletes, getting them set up for the rest of their life. And we get 2 years to do that. And so that's the exciting part about it is it's not about winning. Winning's just this cool thing that might or might not happen. It's about impacting lives.
Absolutely. You hear something like that. You hear a motivation from the coach like that. What does that do to you and the players in the locker room? Because I feel like that would fire me up.
He does have a good way of hyping everybody up. Like a couple of times this season already, we've had to be hyped up quite a bit, and he definitely does really good. Like as do our other coaches. Like theirs are a little different, but they'll get us ready for a game.
Yeah, it's really exciting what you guys are doing, and I want to thank you guys for coming on our program today and giving a little insight to Lake Sumter State College softball, and the baseball team doing great as well. Got a lot of great things going on at the college, so if you can make it out to a Lake Hawk game, please do so. I want to thank you again, Jay, for coming on, and best of luck for the rest of the season, Coach.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, that's going to do it for the Sports Hub this week. I want to thank UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics for their continued support, and I want to thank Lake Sumter State softball for coming on with us. We'll see it on the next edition of the Sports Hub next week.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by UF Health Medical Group Orthopaedics.